Okay. Let's see if this will actually work here this morning. Get some music going, huh? So that says it's working. And let's look at this real quick. Make sure we're coming through okay. I always like to check the audio before I get going because seems like it doesn't always work real good. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking today we might try to build out like our outpost here. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of texture upscaling on the weapons because the native textures exported directly from Final Fantasy using Noesis don't look as good as the upscaled texture. So you can see the dagger that we've got here. We did upscale, and the scythe we did not. You can kind of see that difference there. So I'm going to go through and upscale some of these. I think some of these are going to look pretty good. So I might adjust some of the metallics on some of these too. So all right. So we will get upscale open. Upscale is just a little tool I've used for most of these textures. Okay. Let's go find some of these assets that we were using. Let's see. Let's start with... We were just looking at the scythe. Let's start with the scythe. Okay. So, I just so happen to know... Ah, that's right. I need to convert from... What kind of file is this? TGA. TGA to PNG. Alright, so I'll just kind of show you what I'm doing here, at least for this first one. So this is the texture file for this weapon. So, just using Convertio, just gonna... Okay, so this is the texture for the scythe. And as you can tell, looks pretty bad. So we are going to move this to the weapons folder. We'll select this one. And I think probably about an 8x upscale sounds pretty good. So I'll hit upscale. So you can see this is what our old one looked like. This is what the new one looks like. So looks pretty good by comparison. So we will minimize that And then what I'm going to do is go back to Convertio and do Convertio TGA to PNG. And we're going to drop our upscaled texture back in. And we'll hit download. SVG? The fuck? That's the wrong one. That is not the file I need. I need TGA to PNG. TGA converter. Oh, no. I need PNG to TGA. There's the right one. Okay. Okay. Download this. I'm going to get rid of this other one that I just screwed up. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go to our weapons folder. I'm going to look up Apocalypse. And I'm just going to drag and drop the upscaled texture. So now we've got the original. So we will create a material out of this, and I'm just going to call it material underscore upscaled apocalypse. Cool. So we will pull this up. We've got our texture. We're going to drop in our normal map and our specular map. And I think for this, yeah, that's all we got. So we'll drop in normal here. And we'll drop this here in specular. Set our roughness to 0. And super shiny. So I'm actually going to open our Mandau material. Just double check what I did here. So I've got that going into a multiply mode in the emissive. Which I don't know that we necessarily need to do that on the Apocalypse. But I'm going to move this from specular to world position offset. And I'm going to break this. Okay. It's a little shiny, but let's see what it looks like actually on Apocalypse and make our decision on whether or not we want to keep that one or make a couple more changes to it. Let's go back to Apocalypse, open the static mesh. Ooh. And we're going to drop upscaled texture in here. In both of them. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And it's metallic, so it's supposed to be a little bit shiny. Kind of see that gleam up and down this thing. Cool. So I think for what we're doing, that looks pretty good. Do. here. Sorry, I'm just doing a couple things off screen really quick. Okay. So I think Apocalypse definitely looks better. I think maybe it's a little too shiny. I think it's a little too shiny. So dump the specular down to 0. I'll get rid of some of that gleam for us. So let's try 0.1. Just get just a hint of shininess. Save that. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. Cool. So we will go back to TGA -PNG and let's do our Khaled Bulg one next. So we'll go find that file. Do weapons, Khaled Bulg. And we'll drag that into Convertio. And hit convert. It's going to give us our PNG. And then we'll open Upscale. We're going to drop the Khaled Bulg sword in here. And we're going to upscale this. Oh yeah, that looks better. Yeah. Such a cool program. Go back over here, go to downloads, and then we're going to do a... Whoops. Convertio PNG to TGA. Alrighty. Drag and drop this, convert this one over to a PNG, and hit download. And now we've got our upscaled texture, so we will import that. And we'll make a new material, m_upscaled Khaled Bulg. Open this material and we'll drop the specular and our normal. Plug this into normal, plug this one into world position offset, and our specular we'll put to 0.1. And we will hit apply. Save those changes. And then open our static mesh. So this is the original texture. See how it's pretty pixelated? See what that looks like with the upscaled one. Oh yeah. Real time you can see that difference. That's pretty cool. That looks a lot better. So now this looks a lot cleaner. You compare this with like this sword, we still have not upscaled. You can just kind of see that pixelation difference on this one compared to this one. So we're just going to keep going back through and doing this a few more times. Not the most riveting stuff that we're doing this morning, but whoa. Okay, convert this to a PNG. We're just gonna go through this and and do this with all these weapons, and then I think we're gonna try to build that outpost that is in the zone. Upscale the Almace. Just looks a lot better. I kind of like the AI model for this program to do this with digital art. It helps me profoundly because honestly, I wouldn't even know where to begin for trying to do this in a different program because I'm not really all that much of an artist for this sort of thing. So we'll convert this from a TGA, or from a PNG rather, back to a TGA. And download that. Drop that in here. Oh, that's not right. That is very not right. See. Huh. That's weird. I must have grabbed the wrong one. Okay. Let's bump this up one more time, I guess. See if we can get it to actually work here. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Okay. It was saving a little bit lower in my downloads folder, so that was my problem. So we'll delete this one out of this folder because we don't want this here. And there's our upscaled texture. Perfect. So we'll create a material, do m_almace. Drop our specular, our normal. Plug normal in there. Plug this into our world position offset. Specular, I'm going to leave it 0.1. Hit apply, save. And now, let's see what this one looks like. Yeah. That looks a lot better. You got that nice, just very subtle little gleam off of it. Now we zoom in on that. We can see both of those have been done. And once again, just kind of compared to another sword that we've got here. Difference in pixelation is pretty significant. We'll just play around with this a little bit. Go ahead and do one with a different like AI art style on here too. So I'm going to just dragging the texture file over here. Ooh, damn. I think I might be out of 10 conversion minutes per day. All right. Time to do that on a different browser then. All right, go back to Convertio, TGA to PNG. Just not one of those things I really want to pay for. I use it, but I typically don't really use it all that much. Damn! Recognizes my IP. All right, well, that's a bummer. All right, well, I guess we're done upscaling textures for today. Come back tomorrow and do that a little bit more once I get some more uploads available from that website. Because I don't want to pay the $10 a day. It definitely slows things down, but not too bad. So let's look up in FFXI. All the outposts kind of tend to look the same. Let's go to an image of an outpost. So we're just going to try to kind of build this out. That's kind of the style that we're going for there. For the outpost. So we see we got some windows and stuff. So we'll dock that off on the side and we'll get started. I'm going to just kind of start by blocking this out with cubes. So I'm going to do like, I want it to be kind of perpendicular with that right there. Okay, and then there's kind of recedes in right there. So I'm going to set snapping to 10 degrees at a time, so we'll do 90. And just kind of pull that over. We're just kind of trying to get the basic shape for the outpost. And then we will build all around it. It's probably a little bit big. That's okay. Once we get everything together, we'll group all the different components that we use together and make a packed level instance and then shrink that down. Degrees right there. Okay. So I think that's looking, it's looking kind of outposty. Kind of looks like the FFXI outpost. So go to content, and we're going to just sort by static meshes, and we're going to see what I've already got in here that we could use that might help us build this out to look kind of nice. So for the outpost, these are all just kind of planks and boards and stuff put together. Oh, I have an SM banner. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. I'm going to change one thing really quick. I didn't realize that I had the banner in here. All right, we're going to do banner. Sweet. All right, let's import the texture that we were using for this. Which was right here. have? I already have this under the flag. So we're going to just duplicate this then. And we'll move this to our content folder. And then from our content folder, move this to flag. Nope, it was banner. Okay. So I will drag this out. Shit. Search for banner in the top right and get this dragged up. Then I'm going to do browse to assets. So it's in, oh, it's in our weapons pack. Okay. Weapons pack interior. So let's drop the sandy flag texture in that file. Do this m_banner material. Looks a little bit better. Let's get the specular reset to 0 so we get rid of that shine, and the roughness I'm going to set to 1 so that it gives a little bit more of a rougher look on it. Okay. You know what? I think that flag looks a million times better. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just keep that as it is. We'll keep working on our outpost here. I'm just going to go back to content and sort by texture again. We're going to look for links. We're just going to kind of drag a bunch of these out. Yikes. I want to use that one. Wooden planks. So a lot of these look at least okay. Set this to 90. Definitely not going to be super riveting stuff here today, but stuff that needs to get done. Beam. Okay. I use the wooden beam to kind of, again, just kind of going off of the reference image that I've got here. Set this over to 90. We'll just drop this down like that. Set that over. Upscale. Not upscale, just make larger this plank here. You're just kind of generally getting just this first section of this done, and then we'll pretty much just build a larger actor off of it, and then we can just drag and drop it multiple times so we can kind of get the look that we're after for this thing. Rotate this up. Just make that a little bit bigger. Move this into place right here. Perfect. And then I'm going to put this beam right there. And we're going to see... I might just make all these a little bit bigger. Okay. Just trying to get the relative scale compared to like the size of a player. I think these actually need to get a little bit bigger even. Yeah. Probably something like that. Get a lot of these moved up. Pretty much just level design stuff today. Hey, Blank Page. Good to see you. How's it going? How was your week? That's the better question. I saw your comment too, wanting to check on, getting like a tutorial for building out zones and whatnot. I made one yesterday on building a height map off of a static mesh. So let me know if that's kind of what you were looking for. And if it is, great. If not, I can make a different one. Okay, so we're going to make a packed level instance out of this. Just call it PLI outpost wall. That helps me keep track of it. Perfect. Oh shoot, actually, I did forget to do one thing. We're going to break this level instance. And I need to make this go up across the top. And then we can group all these actors together. It'll look a little bit better. Just get a little bit of an overhang. Alright, now we'll do a level instance. Oh, nice. You just got home. Post wall 1. Well, where were you? What were you out doing? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's, I don't know that it's necessarily going to be exactly what you were looking for, but I'm hoping it'll be kind of close, in the ballpark at least. Okay. Damn. I did not grab... Which board is that? How bizarre. I drag that out. There's a board missing. Ah. I did miss one. Alright. We're gonna break this again. Break level instances. And then I'm going to also select that one. Okay. Now we'll create a packed level instance. Again. PLI underscore outpost. All final. Go back through and clean that up. Well, thanks for hopping on again, Blank. I appreciate it. How's your cathedral project going? And with your cathedral project, have you made any videos on it or anything yet? Because I want to check it out. I always like getting ideas and seeing how other folks do things. Drop that right there. Keep seeing comments saying that making an MMO, even if just to make an import from an already existing game, is a momentous task. Would be the ideal team of people you hope to work with someday on this project, if working with others is what you're considering. Well, so here's kind of the unfortunate thing with this project. I would love to remake the entire game. Oh, nice. Hanging out with the fam. I'm doing that this weekend. I'm going to see my parents here this afternoon. But, yeah, so for going through and, remaking the entire game, I mean, realistically, I don't want to say that it's not necessarily possible, but because everything from Square Enix and Final Fantasy, all that is, it's all copyright protected. So you got to be... you got to be really careful in the way that you position it. So I'm rebuilding right now. Realistically, it's probably just going to be, it's just going to be this one zone. And then if I decide to, kind of build out other zones and do other things, then I gotta start thinking about, just using, different assets to, yeah, it's got to be careful. But if I was going to do it with a team, like if I was actually going to say, like, okay, let's rebuild the first half of, Final Fantasy when it originally released, and we'll do like a level 50 level cap. Yeah, man, I mean, I would probably want like 20 to 40 developers, and it would take several years. So this project as it is now is something that, I'd love to be able to release for people to goof around with and play with. But as far as Square Enix is concerned, it's just a portfolio project. I think I've got a doorway here somewhere. Small wooden old door. Here you go. Medieval modular door. Let's see what this looks like here. But all that said, too, I actually have been looking for people to work on this project with. I've been trying to seek out some help, but you'd be surprised there's not as many developers for this sort of stuff as you might think there would be. Okay, I mean that looks reminiscent of what we're trying to do. I was using this picture as a reference. So you probably want to do like some windows, I guess. Do I have any windows? Window frame, large. I think that's going to look too modern. Yeah, that doesn't fit here. We'll have to import some window meshes to do.
Like the quick drying 4-in-1 spray, formulated with finasteride and minoxidil, so you can regrow hair in just 3 to 6 months.
Just do some refining on this. Let's see, what kind of roof material do I have? I think it was called thatch. So I'll have to import the thatch roof for this as well. I guess it doesn't have a thatch roof. It's just kind of flat. Rotate this 90. Channel something you plan to do live streams on, also starting tomorrow for 2D animations. Nice. And if the ball gets rolling with another drawer author I'm in contact with for ideas on Discord. Nice. Devlogs, nice. That's awesome. So the like the 2D manga animations and whatnot, are you I guess like are you building those out, or is somebody kind of like doing it with you? Oops. Get a little bit of an overhang for this just to get it to kind of look like that image. There you go. That looks pretty good. Shit. Screwed that up. Cool. That looks kind of... There you go. That looks reminiscent of our outpost. Well, I'll definitely hop on and put your stream on tomorrow morning. What, do you have any idea what time you're going to try to do it? Love to come and watch. I would love to come and watch. That place right there. Rotate this in 180. And drop that down right there. And when you're running around playing position in the game, you shouldn't really see the roof anyway. Not in VR anyway. Let's see, does that kind of... It kind of looks like what we were looking for. Cool. Nice, about 10 hours from now. So that'll be about 4 for me, so I'm gonna set a reminder. Where's my phone? Oh, here. I'll just do it over here. Alright, I'm gonna set a reminder blank. I'll be there. Animations you do on your own. Dang, that's impressive, man. What do you have like a software that you use for building out the animations for that stuff, or like how do you do it? Because the animations it's had me stumped. Had me very stumped. And add in some more trees right here. I think that'll look good. Let's see, do I have I do have all the settings saved, thank goodness. Whoa. Okay, put a couple of big trees right there. Put another tree right there. There you go, that looks good. Alright. Deselect our trees. Reselect our grass. And ferns. There you go. Yeah, I can't wait for your stream, man. I'm gonna hop on. It's gonna be good times. Be interested to see how you work and all that stuff, because I could use some ideas on it. Use Clip Studio Paint. Brute forced it 3 weeks ago. Loaded it yesterday, my first one. Nice. Well, if you uploaded one yesterday, I'll go check it out after my stream's done here. Some grassy ferns. There you go. I'm gonna adjust the light here too. Get the sun pointed up more. Ooh, that looks rough. Ooh, that scared me. I thought we were gonna crash for a second. Increase that brush size a little bit. Oh, yikes. I do not like that change. Move the brush strength down a little bit. Damn, that is just... Man, why is that still so aggressive? Use a super light smoothing tool for this. Oh! didn't see that. Yeah, I mean, I would love some help. I was gonna start, you know, I was gonna work on GitHub a little bit just to actually get this project kind of, you know, uploaded for folks that do want to help on it. But yeah, I would love some help. That's a really big reason why I'm even doing a lot of this. So trying to network and chat with people and learn, because I would really like to do this as a job. So I would love some help. I've got a Discord group set up. I got one other gentleman who does a lot of C++ who wanted to help. So he hadn't been able to do much so far. He's on vacation. Oh. Alright, let's start here. Damn. Alright, we're going to use our flatten tool. I'm such a dummy. That's why that wasn't smoothing, was because I was on the sculpt tool. Whoops. Cool. That was that height map import that I did, just kind of did things. Discord. Discord is Discord's a it's like a messaging program that you can use to I mean, it was designed for like playing video games with your friends and stuff. It's got really good like VoIP, and it's also it's just really good for like sharing files and you know, making different components for sharing stuff with team members and stuff like that. So if you've never used Discord, I would highly recommend it. A great program. That part that I just smoothed was supposed to be a wall. Oh, what's my Discord? I was wondering. I was like, Blank's never heard of Discord? What in tarnation? My Discord, I'm not proud of this. This was a username I chose long ago. But if you send me a friend request, my Discord name is Unexpected Shart. That is a Discord name that has lived in infamy for many years. In my mind. Paint. I think this is the one I want. Yeah, this is the one. To increase. Why isn't that working? Okay, there it is. Just had to increase brush strength a little bit. We'll increase the size as well. Not that big. Lagging out. Increase the size. We're going to smooth out all of this too, because still having that tessellation issue. with a lot of this. Just smooth these to look a little bit better. That should help with that rendering problem that we've been having. Smooth. And sculpt just a little bit. Oops. Decrease brush size. Keep this looking a little like a little range of that smoothed out. You still get a lot of that deformation, but a little bit better. Just kind of smooth all of this together. It should help a lot with that. A little bit better. Part of this project that you want to have made that you look to the most? I think what I'm the most excited for on this project is building out the combat. So at some point this weekend, I'm probably going to work on like a holster system, so that like when you're holding your weapon, like you can actually drop it on your hip kind of thing, and it'll stay there. And then when you pick it up, if you drop it off your body, then it'll snap right back to your holster. I think like that's one thing that I'm going to try to do this weekend for the weapons. And yeah, just building out all the combat. You can see like with the little dagger here, if I go in closer on it, you can see it's got the little collision box on the outside of it. So I've started working on this, just slowly but surely. I was doing a little bit of testing yesterday, seeing if I could get that dagger with its collision box to hit the crab. I haven't quite figured it out yet, so still got a little bit to do on that front. But yeah, just building out the combat. That's what I'm the most excited for. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Get these bushes off of this table. It doesn't make sense. And I think also just getting more monsters, you know, imported, and you know, getting the animations. And what I also want to try to do is I want to try to export like the hands from Final Fantasy 11 like characters, and I want to try to export like a handful of different armors and things. So with Final Fantasy on DAT files, I can you know, pull out just like the hand gloves, and I want to try to get those animated so they'll work with your VR hands. And for Discord, did I get your request? Let's see. Let's see. Pending. Blank games. Yes, I just accepted. I definitely love the help, Blank, and the yeah, it's honestly, even having a VR headset, it's still kind of a pain to to play test a lot of it because it's, I mean, it's a lot. I just got your wave, Blank. Wave back. So, creatures. Let's see. Got the bat. Let's add a health bar to him next. Just kind of hopping around a lot in this. BP crab. Okay. Set this off to this other monitor. And pull up our bat blueprint. Yeah, right. Right. Just got your Discord message too. Well, yeah, man, I will get some stuff shared. And we can get to work. It's exciting though. So I need on here, I need a variable called health. And off of set world rotation, I'm just going to copy right from the crab because I'm lazy. And we'll plug that in. And the health bar widget, which I need to connect here. Health bar widget. Wonder if I can just copy paste this. Add health. Huh. Cool. There's my health bar widget. Put that right there. Godspeed. Thanks, Blank. Compile this in. Just make sure I've got everything good. It compiled, right? So now we should have all of our mouse bats with HP bars. And this will rotate when we're actually in the game. It'll rotate with us. That's the other pesky thing about trying to do this in VR is like if I simulate this, then when I come in, it doesn't simulate right. But when I actually have the headset on, you can see it. Which is a little bit of a pesky thing. I think that is about all that we get. This one, this blueprint class pulled up and copy our health bar widget again. And paste this in here, put his health bar right above him. And I'm just going to copy paste all the work that I did before back into the event graph. Okay, put this over here. And I need to add a variable called health. So that'll pre-populate here. Compile. What didn't work? Oh, my health is supposed to be afloat. Get health. So why did this just work on bat, but it's not working here? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's do get health. Plug that in there. Recompile. Okay. Well, that worked. And I need to change this to a float as well. Change that variable type. And we'll do get health for the bat as well. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to probably call it right there. So we got a bit done. We got our outpost built. So that's cool. And we got health bars added above a few other things and upgraded the textures on some of this other stuff. So, all right. Well, that is going to be the end of the stream for today. Thanks, Blank, for hopping on. Appreciate you, brother. And I will be working with you soon, and I'll see you on Discord. So thanks so much for hopping on and watching. Get my hand in there. Yeah, I'll see you next time.